welcome to another round of Sports Views. Tonight, I'm reacting to the FIFA World Cup draw for 2022. I will react to each group, how they were set up, and what I think about each group, and what I think could be the group of death. I will not make any early predictions. I will wait till November to make my predictions for the World Cup because 8 months from now, you don't know who's hurt. You don't know who's on form. You don't know who will be on form. You don't know who will be hurt. I'll make my predictions after MLS Cup for the World Cup itself. But here are the draw results, and here are my reactions to each group. So we'll start with Group A. Group A, Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and the Netherlands. Pretty simple group. I don't think Qatar gets out, though. I don't. I think Senegal and Netherlands are probably the favorites here. I don't think Qatar is really a favorite here. It's not a hard group. It's not a softball, though. It's a group that they could handle if everything goes their way and the referees are in their back pocket and they can actually not give away three or four goals a game. But if they give away 3 or 4 goals a game, their defense is as leaky as it was at the Gold Cup. And even though the refs are in their back pocket, you can't overcome a bad defense. Ecuador could easily pot a couple. Senegal, Sadio Mane. Netherlands, total football. It's not the easiest group, but it's not the hardest for Qatar, but it's a very sneaky group. So Qatar is not a favorite here. I don't think so. It's going to be a challenge for them to get out in their group. It really will be. Now, the refs could be behind them, but I think it's a group that it'll be a challenge for them to get out. I could go with the favorites, though. I think Senegal and Netherlands are the favorites in this group. Ecuador could have an outside chance, and then Qatar. I think when it comes to favorites-wise, which that's what I could say, but there we go. Next up, Group B. England, Iran, United States, and the UEFA playoff winner of Wales, Scotland, and Ukraine. One of those 3 teams in June will join this group of England, Iran, and the United States. But honestly, I don't think whoever wins that group will really change the quality of this group. Wales, Scotland, and Ukraine are all very similar level teams. They're a UEFA team, but they're a lower level UEFA team. But they could spring a surprise. But I still think USA, quality-wise, is better than those 3 teams. I think their quality is better than Iran. USA versus England will actually be a very tasty match. I think I'll cover that one. Definitely for sure. I mean, I have to. It'd be stupid not to. But with that being said, when it comes to it, you look at it, England and US should easily get out of this group. The UEFA playoff winner has an outside chance, but I'm not completely sure they're better than the USA, technically, talently. But maybe tactically they outfox Greg Berhalter and they get out instead. Iran, I just don't see it. I don't see Iran beating those other 3 teams doing enough to get out of the group. I just don't see it. They got a team. I don't think they're that much better than the other 3. Then Group C. Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland. This could be the group of death. This is one of them where I'm like, this could be the one. It's either Group C, Group D, or Group E. Those are the 3 groups that are the possible groups of death. But Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland, that is a group where I said Mexico probably wouldn't get out of the group. And they're in a group where I don't think Tata gets away with it. I think he definitely gets sacked if they don't get out of the group. But this is a group where you could be like, well, I mean, who thought we were? Because Argentina is a favorite in this tournament. Messi is looking for that World Cup. Poland, Lewandowski. I don't really want to see, if I'm a Mexican fan, Lewandowski against the Mexican defense. He could single-handedly beat Mexico. And then Saudi Arabia, they sprung a couple of surprises. They were a tough team in Russia 4 years ago. So, it's a tough group. Mexico, they do play tougher at the World Cup. They do play differently, but let's be honest. It's a group of teams that I don't think Mexico gets out of that group. I really don't. They'd have to get a really softball group to get out, in my eyes, but I don't think Mexico legitimately gets out of Group C. Next up, Group D. You have France, the CONMEBOL AFC playoff winner. Of those teams, that is Peru, Australia, or the United Arab Emirates, Denmark, and Tunisia. Now this, if Peru gets in or Australia gets in, I think this could truly be the group of death. It probably is Group D. If it ends up being UAE, there's definitely somebody easier in it, I think. Which kind of takes away the oomph of it. You have Tunisia, then the UAE. I wouldn't say that's a group of death. If it ends up being Australia or Peru, though, oh boy. Now, that is a group of death, but you have to see how it ends up. That's why I'm like leaning towards Group C or Group E, because even if you have Costa Rica, that actually probably would make Group E the group of death, because Costa Rica is probably a harder fight than New Zealand, but we'll get to that when we get there. Group D, you have 4 strong teams in that group. No question about it whatsoever. Denmark, Christian Eriksen is back. Denmark's been amazing without him, and to get him back is amazing. He's right back onto the fast lane of scoring with Denmark. It's happy to see him back, Christian Eriksen. France, they may actually finally get out of the group for once, for World Cup winners. The World Cup winners curse. They may get out of it. Denmark, I think they get out of the group. Peru or Australia, they could get close. I wouldn't be shocked if they spring a surprise, or UAE, but if it's Australia, Peru, I think that's a surprise. If it's UAE, I'm not completely sure. Then Tunisia, they're there, frankly. They're there. I can't say much more. Group E, Spain, the winner of the CONCACAF OFC playoff, Costa Rica or New Zealand, Germany and Japan. Now this, Group E, once it's all said and finished out, I think this one probably has the best argument. Spain, Germany, Japan, and Costa Rica. Oh boy. That's going to just be a war. That's going to be a war. Germany is probably, I'd say Spain and Germany are the most likely to get out, but Japan could spring surprises. Costa Rica could spring surprises. New Zealand, not so much if they get there, but I still think it's Costa Rica. Group E is full of twists and turns, probably. I'm going to say that much. Group E is close. There's going to be some twists and turns. And you're going to be like, damn, didn't expect that to happen. I can't wait to see this Group B played. This is going to be a crazy group. Well, then again, I probably can't cover it because it's on the same day as Group F, and Canada's in Group F. But I'll watch these games. Don't worry. Trust me. Now, that's going to be some crazy stuff in Group E. Next up, Group F. Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia. It's a passable group. I think it's a passable group for Canada. Belgium, they're fraudulent. Canada could beat Belgium. Morocco, again, a team that Canada could beat or get a point off of. Croatia, I think Canada could get a point off Croatia, at least if not win. Canada should have 3 positive results here, in my eyes. If it's 3 draws, it's 3 draws. If they could get a win and 2 draws, I think that does it. Morocco, I don't think they beat Belgium and Croatia. I don't. It's going to be up between Belgium, Canada, and Croatia. And probably Croatia and Canada for that second spot. If Canada doesn't spring a surprise and win 2 matches and win the group. But I think they could get out of it. It's a group that they could get out of. It's not that hard. It's not a group of death. They got lucky with a draw. They were the last team to come out. Group F was the only thing left. Some restrictions helped them get it, but damn it, I'll take it. I'll take Group F without a shadow of a doubt. I think they get out of it. No joke. I think Canada gets out of the group. This group, Group F, Canada gets out. They make it to the round of 16 at least. I believe it. It's a group they could get out of. I think so. I think they get out of it. 100%. I think Canada gets out of Group F. And then Belgium probably comes out with them. Croatia and Morocco are probably the ones who get eliminated. But I think Canada gets out of that group. I think for sure they do. Next up, Group G, Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon. Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon in Group G. Cameroon, I definitely don't see them doing much here. Brazil probably is the favorite in that group. Serbia and Switzerland are probably fighting for second. It's not an obvious group, but it's totally not a questionable group. It's a group where you know who's probably going to win, who's fighting for second, and who's getting eliminated pretty easily. I like it. It's going to be an interesting group. Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon, but I don't think it's going to be a group that's very questionable. I say Switzerland probably finishes second. They probably get out of it over Serbia, but who knows? That 2-3 spot fight is going to be absolutely cinema in this group. The first place fight, there's no first place fight. Fourth place fight, there's no fourth place fight. It's that middle of the group, which will be enjoyable. And then finally, Group H. Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and South Korea. Again, it's a tough group. It's a tough group. You have 3 great teams and 1 team that could probably spring some surprises. I'm not going to question Ghana's quality. They got through Nigeria to get to the World Cup, so they have some quality. They could spring surprises. South Korea's got talent. Uruguay and Portugal are 2 good teams with some aging leaders that want to win a World Cup. Group H is going to be some cinema. It's going to be a movie, and it's going to be enjoyable. It's going to be a situation where you can enjoy everything out of it. I think it's a group that's very even overall. So you think you have favorites, but that definitely could throw a joker out there, a wild out there for sure. Group H is a group that could easily throw out a joker or a upset out of what I think is an upset, frankly. So Portugal and Uruguay are probably the favorites to get out, but I wouldn't be shocked if South Korea could, or even Ghana for that matter. It's a very even group, frankly. Portugal, Uruguay, South Korea, and Ghana. It's a very even group, talent-wise, or team-wise. It's a very even group, and I wouldn't be shocked to see an upset come out of it. I don't want to see Ronaldo get knocked out of the World Cup in the group stage in his final World Cup, possibly, but it's possible it happens. It's very possible. So when it comes down to it, I'd say Group G is Group H is a pretty even group. The worst groups, the groups of death, as I said, overall, I think Group E is probably the true group of death. The easiest group, I would say Group B. Group F is a very even group, but Canada could get out of it. Group H is very even. Group C is tough. Group D is tough. Group A, be probably boring, but it's even-ish. Group G looks like a hardish group, but it's even. I like the draw. It was actually pretty even. It wasn't like 2 groups of death, or it was a pretty even draw, which I'll gladly accept. And Canada got a pretty even draw as well. So I'm happy with a draw for Canada. I think they could get out of the group. I believe they can. I'm sure they can. I think they do. And we shall see in November and December. We shall see. But I think they get out of it. So, with that being said, if you like this video, there wasn't really much to say, really, out of those groups. I gave you my piece. Didn't really take long, frankly. I thought this would be a bit longer. Okay. But with that being said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Hit that join button once you subscribed. $1.99 a month or $4.99 a month. Anything's appreciated. Help support the channel. Be awesome if you do. Hit that red bell notification once you subscribed to get the subscription notifications. Comment on this video. Send super chats on the live streams. Put some playlists. Share some friends and family. All that great stuff. Tomorrow, I have a live watch along in RSR for Toronto FC versus New York City FC. Be a great match. Can't wait to see it. And it's going to be back to club football. So I'll see you then. I'm Ron and I'm out. Peace. What a great draw. Had a fun one. Peace.